first thing we're going to do is take our red bell peppers and cut the tops off. And then you're going to want to get in there and get all the gook out. Dump that part in your sink. You're going to do that for each one. Last way to cook your red bell peppers is to kind of get a shallow plate. Put just a tiny bit of water in there, you can see it. And then you're going to place your red peppers upside down in the water. Spread them out. And then you're going to put these in the microwave for about 4 minutes. Just keep track of it. You can open it up, just be careful because it's going to be hot, but really you're just going to take this and kind of see if it's soft yet. The softer the better. You just don't want them falling apart because that'd be really bad because it needs to hold all the yumminess. We're going to take the filling that's going to go in our stuffed peppers, which are your kalamata olives and your pepperoncini, and I'm going to chop this up really fine. What I like to do to save time is I kind of just do 2 of them like that, and I kind of just do 2 chops. So it kind of gets a little bit smaller like this. It takes a little bit of time, but you don't want to have a whole chunky bite of a kalamata olive in your stuffed pepper. So you're going to do that for all of them. And then for your pepperoncini, it's already sliced. I do not buy the whole. I think they're a little bit tougher. So I kind of do this, and then you'll just chop to get those fine. So you do all of that. And then I've already minced my garlic that I'm going to put in there as well. So now I have my red onion, and I already peeled it apart and cut it in half. As you can see, again, as I stated before, you really need to use a red onion because that really is the Mediterranean and Greek flavor. If that is too spicy, you can go ahead and use a yellow, but really try to stick with the purple pepper. So what I'm gonna do is I like to cut these into thin strips, almost kind of like you're making fajitas, just because I think that gives it a lot more texture to the inside of the stuffed pepper. So you're just going to cut these really thin. And make sure you have a sharp knife. And you know, a lot of people get kind of freaked out when they get towards the end because they really don't want to cut their fingers. You know, just toss it out. You don't need to cut it. You don't want to get any stitches or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do this with the second one. I'm going to take my 99% lean ground turkey, dump it in. I also like to add a little bit of olive oil, just so it doesn't get too dry, because there's not a lot of fat in there. And this is the other problem with 99% fat-free turkey, is it will kind of stick to the bottom. So you cannot leave this unattended. You constantly just have to poke at it, tear it apart, like this with your spoon, get the bottom, just like that. There. Get a nice little char on it. Then you can turn your heat down to about medium, depending if you have a gas stove or an electric stove. Kind of get that done. Once I have that kind of broken up into little pieces, I like to use this dandy little thing. And this works really good. This is just Betty Crocker. It's from Walmart. And I use it for sausage, turkey, hamburger, anything that you really want to get in there and get into tiny, finer pieces. I mean, we don't want it to be too chunky, but it needs to break down a lot more than this. So you're just going to keep doing this. I'm going to dump in my minced garlic. And I'm going to put in my sliced red onions. I'm also going to add a little bit more pepper. I don't like mine to be too bland, and since I don't use salt in a lot of stuff, I tend to use a lot more seasonings and other things. Stronger seasonings like pepper and oregano, anything like that, basil, whenever I'm cooking, just to make up for that lack of salt. And speaking of salt, once you add in all of this, that's going to give you natural salt. from the Kalamata olives and the pepperoncini. Right, you're gonna put that in there. You're gonna stir, and again, that's gonna give it some more depth of flavor, some more juice, so that it's not too dry. There we go. You're gonna let that cook down just a little bit. And if you find that it might be still a little too dry for you, you can always, before you've dumped all the vegetables in, add a little bit of red wine vinegar, just like half a tablespoon. And that'll kind of help steam this and add a little bit more flavor, and also help to glaze the bottom of this if all your turkey really stuck to the bottom of the pan. About 8 to 10 minutes on medium low, just making sure that this turkey is cooked all the way through. And now this is when I actually add my feta, and I add a whole container. And now I'm going to turn my stove off, and then you're just going to mix this feta in, just like that. Because you don't want it to get too melted to where you can't tell there's little chunks of feta in there. So you want just a little. And again, I use the Mediterranean flavored feta, because you can kind of see as the little roasted red peppers already in there and some other flavors. So this is just going to be a lot of goodness. So that looks about right. So now I'm going to take this and stuff it into my peppers that are currently still sitting in the microwave. Put my peppers that I got out of the microwave, did about 4 to 5 minutes, so now they're really soft and pliable. And I sprayed my baking dish with this canola oil cooking spray, which I get this from, oh, it's Kirkland, so it's Costco. There you go. So now this is when we stuff the peppers. You're gonna get a nice big spoon. You're just really gonna get it in there, and it's okay if it falls off the side, just because you're gonna have some left over in your pan. And that leftover, we're gonna just kind of put in little crevices around. That also just helps make the dish really presentable and pretty. So if you have guests over, or if it's just for family and friends, people really think that it looks like it's out of a magazine. So you're gonna keep filling these up until they're all done. And then what you're gonna do is top each one with a slice of lemon, like that. So then when that's in the oven, you get a little roasted and color on it.